Plenty of shouting and racing. Indian Creek was the slowest to leave the boxes, and one of the first away, Compton Boulder, down near the inside, will be the early leader. Up there too in the early stages, Zindabad and Parasol in the yellow jacket just dropping in behind them, followed then by Balakiri in the green jacket, is prominent as well as they charge downhill. Right there in the centre is Bolineric, followed then by Bandari, who's back in the field today, in company there with Highest, and then on the inside Raw Yana gap then to Indian Creek. Heading downhill, 9 furlongs left to travel, and the leader on the left is Compton Bolter with the white cap. In the orange jacket, Zindabad, a length away Parasol, the yellow on the inside, not fully settled yet from Balakiri in the green. They're followed then by Bolineric, who's tucked away on the inside. Further back in the field then Bandari in behind, followed then by Raw Yarn and Highest, who's about 8 lengths off the pace as they race out of Swindley Bottom now, and last is Indian Creek. Just on 6 furlongs to travel in the Hardwicke, and the leader is Compton Bolt to the far side, a half length to on the outside is Zindabad, a length and a half away then Parasol, is going okay now from Balakiri, and Bolineric tucked away on the inside as they leave the 6 peg behind them. Then the striped cap of Bandari getting closer on the outside. A couple of lengths further back in the field then is Highest, who's racing on the outside here of Raw Yarn, and Indian Creek still last. 4.5 furlongs to go. Compton Bolter on the inside of Zindabad. Balakiri creeping closer now. Parasol is off the rail and trying to get up on his inside is Bolineric, but no speed to do so at this stage. Bandari out wider. Further back then is Highest, is giving them 6 lengths starting to the straight. Raw Yarn the inside at Indian Creek is last. The race is on in earnest. Zindabad on the outside, last year's winner, trying for a repeat here, takes the lead. Parasol's out into the clear now from Compton Bolter. Balakiri down the outside, then Bandari. Highest right down the extreme outside, and Bolineric is battling on as well. They've got a furlong and a half to go. Zindabad being grabbed by Bolineric, who's starting to power home now. Indian Creek right down the outside might beat them all. Bolineric in front now with 100 yards left to go. Indian Creek running about a bit, races to Bolineric on the outside, gets up on the outside, puts his nose in front. A big win. Indian Creek's come from nowhere to win the Hardwicke. A triumph for David Ellsworth. In second is Bolineric, third then Zindabad, followed further back in the field by Bandari, then Highest and Parasol. Further back Raw Yarn, Balakiri, and Compton Bolter is last to finish. Last to first, Indian Creek, and David Ellsworth has always had faith in this horse. He's finally got up and win a big one. Second is Bolineric, third then Zindabad, fourth is Bandari, fifth is Highest, a gap then to Parasol behind them. They were followed then by Raw Yarn, then Balakiri, and Compton Bolter, the early leader. But let's check the placings in this Group 2 Hardwicke Stakes at Royal Ascot. The winner is number 6, Indian Creek, owned by Seymour Cohn, trained by David Ellsworth and ridden by Richard Quinn. Second, number 1, Bolineric, owned by Sir Neil Westbrook, trained by Tim Easterby and ridden by Kevin Darley. And third, number 10, Zindabad, owned by Abdullah Buhaliba, trained by Mark Johnston and ridden by Darrell Holland. Fourth is number 3, Bandari. But David Ellsworth has always thought this horse was needing longer, and it wasn't too long before he had this race in mind, 1.5 miles. He switched him off at the back, Richard Quinn, a great ride, and with a fast pace he was able to capitalise. There he is telling the lad how he weaved his way through, and a great performance.
Well, his first attempt at 1.5 miles, Indian Creek. I should think Richard Quinn was surprised early on, though, because the pace was so strong that he was outpaced. He comes from last. Richard Quinn switching to the middle of the track now to come past Highest. Bolineric has hit the front now ahead of Zindabad, who's run another brave race, finishing third in the end. It looked like Bolineric might just win the race here, but Indian Creek closing all the time. What a turn of foot he's got.
Well, he came from last to first, and he has been placed in last year in the Prince of Wales, which was a Group 1 race. He finished, I think, second on that occasion, but he's bettered it this year. He's gone and won this race.
And he looked magnificent beforehand.
He did look very, very well. And of course, you, Claire, picked it out in the paddock. You said it was the pick of the paddock. And who did I say was the pick of the paddock? The horse he's just beaten.